Banished from Earth, classic game room broadcasts from the intergalactic space arcade on its never-ending mission to review everything. Welcome to Classic Game Room, coming to you from the Intergalactic Space Arcade to celebrate the first CGR 2085 monthly podcast titled My Love Affair with Star Wars. I'm going to be reviewing some more Star Wars stuff this month, including this great book, Star Wars Omnibus Volume 1, which includes issues 1 through 27 of the original Star Wars comic books, which started in 1977. It's really cool. Lots of stuff in here, so let's take a look. Star Wars Omnibus, Volume 1. I love the cover of this book. It's so simple and catchy at the same time. Star Wars Omnibus Volume 1. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was this amazing comic book series called Star Wars, published by Marvel Comics. Maybe you've heard of it. One of these days, they'll make it into a movie. This book, this entire series of books, is a real blast from the past and a must-have for any serious Star Wars fans. For starters, the art is amazing, and Dark Horse Comics does a great job reprinting the old school Star Wars comics, which started in July 1977 and cost all of 30 cents. What can you buy for 30 cents these days? I love the covers. I love the style of the old school Star Wars comics, and it's not just nostalgia. While I did read these when I was a kid, I like this book because it's like watching Star Wars again for the first time from a different perspective. This monster omnibus contains 27 issues of Star Wars comics. The first 6 are a retelling of the first Star Wars movie, which is pretty cool to read, but the fun really starts in issue 7 when the writers take the series off in a totally different direction. But before then, we can enjoy this classic comic book retelling of Star Wars, which is a lot of fun to read. Here's the cover of issue 7, which actually isn't one of the better ones, but it starts in this lateral spiral. I'm not sure if it's better, I'm not sure if it's worse. It's like a different vision of where Star Wars could have gone, made by people who had no idea that Darth Vader was Luke's father. That information was not common knowledge in 1977, and I guess the writers were not told, so this could best be described as this beautiful blend of Star Wars and Buck Rogers. Because this doesn't focus on the relationship between Luke and Darth Vader, it's not about the Clone Wars or any of that stuff, it's pure space adventure. This is more about Han Solo and Chewbacca, wreaking havoc and raising hell across the galaxy, which is awesome. There's loads of weird-ass characters that you've most likely never heard of unless you've read these before. There's a talking rabbit named JAXXON. You can't make that stuff up. Future space babes throwing themselves at Han Solo, and Leia constantly trying to hook up with her brother. And Luke pretty much has the hots for her too. It goes on throughout the whole book. It's great. Because they obviously had no idea. But hey, how about the talking rabbit in a spacesuit named JAXXON? I would take that thing any day of the week over you know where I'm going with that already. How awesome would that have been if they'd have replaced Jar Jar with JAXXON? That would have been great. It'd be like Roger Rabbit. The artwork is wildly inconsistent throughout this entire book since there's numerous artists that worked on the Star Wars series over the years. Some of it's really good, some of it's just average. And the storytelling is it's different. It's wild. It's like Star Wars freed from its own constraints these days. Like the series has its own destiny now, and this was written before that. Like in one issue they're saving a village from a monster, and then fighting giant space sea lizards, and then pirates, and I love how they draw Leia as a sex kitten. She looks nothing like Carrie Fisher in 1977. But it's far from perfect. It's sort of like they took Star Wars and just put it on top of any generic 1970s science fiction space adventure. But because of that, it doesn't just center on Jedis. It's campy, it's cheesy, at times it's really good, other times it's not nearly as good. But it's Star Wars like you haven't seen it in quite some time, and it'll take you a long time to read since it's extremely wordy. You get a lot of great Star Wars content for a good price. This book is fairly easy to find. It's Star Wars Omnibus A Long Time Ago, Volume 1. Welcome to the club. It's the Lord Carnage Club, where I give thanks to these backers on Patreon, starting with Jeff Cap Dauntless Breyer, Ohad Kane, Jack Stavros from Australia, Philip Michael Stiles of Ortona, Philip Straubenmuller of Vienna, Austria, Landon Ellerby, Justin Duran from Palm Desert, California, Steve Chucknick from New Jersey, Sean Zoltek, Rick DeBarros, Hemp Trex, Al Stiver, Chip Sankvale, Shadow Minion, for Lord Carnage, Busy Signal, Jason from Kamloops, British Columbia, Will, Zach Brenner, Sergio Matthias Hergert, Jim Moriarty, Rob from Palmerston North, New Zealand, Kid Shuriken, Soft Otaku. See you next time on Classic Game Room Mark III.